Good morning, students. In this session is the continuation of History, third unit, Indus Civilization. So, in the previous classes, we have discussed about the four ancient world civilizations. In the last class, we have discussed what are the four ancient civilizations we have discussed. First one, Mesopotamia, that period 3500 to 2000 BC. Second one, Egyptian, the period is 3100 to 1100 BC. The third one is Indus civilization, the period is 3300 to 1900 BC. The fourth one is Chinese civilization, the period is 1700 to 1122 BC. So these are the things we have discussed in the last class. Today we are going to see about the unique features of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Because we know very well in an Indus civilization, if we take Indus civilization, these are the two cities were very famous in the Indus civilization. Because the two cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, were the largest cities in this period. So, streets and houses, already we have discussed in the last class. So, directly we go to the next topics. What is the next one? What is the next unique features? The drainage system. So, in the ancient period itself, they followed the drainage system. How did they follow? See, if they are using the drainage means they closed it was covered by the slabs or the bricks. Then they use some slopes because it's drawn to the port or drainage system. It has the slopes also. Then the holes were provided. They have a particular regular intervals to collect to store the drainage. So it has the particular regular intervals. The next one, the house drain, because in a houses they follow the drainage system. So the house drains pass below many lands. So it was passing many lands before finally emptying into the main drains. So when it's entered into the main drains, it follows the many lands from the houses. Then every house had its own choke pit, because if have any problems in their house means they are using the choke pit. So in a ancient period, in a Harappan cities, they use the choke pit in every houses. So in the ancient period itself, they follow the drainage system regularly. So what is the second unique feature? Drainage system. It had covered by the slopes or the brick. Then each drain had a gentle slopes to follow that. Then next one, we are going to see the great bath. Already I said great bath means now we have mentioned that swimming pool. So it looks like a swimming pool only. So in an ancient period, in a Mohenjo-daro, they used the great bath also. How did they make the great bath? So the great bath was a large rectangular tank in a courtyard. So in the middle, if you take any house means in a courtyard, in a center place, we can see the great bath. It looks like a large rectangular tank. So how it was filled? Where they are getting the water to fill the great bath? They are getting the water from the nearest well. So they are getting the water from the nearest well to fill in a great bath. So it was a large rectangular tank in the courtyard. They were getting the water from the nearest adjacent wells. They fill the water. Then they have a separate lines also. So when they want to remove the dirty waters, they use the separate part also. So that great bath, it's the earliest example of waterproof structure. So this great bath is the earliest example of the waterproof. Now we are using so many things to protect the water, so fill the water, store the water. But in the beginning itself, they found the great bath they are using, it was the earliest example of the waterproof structure. Then how it was made? They used the line, they used the line with the bricks, then they used the mixture to close the walls. So they used the line bricks, then coated with the plaster. They are using the tar. Now we are using to use the roads or make the road. In the beginning they used the tar like a bitumen. They used the bitumen to make a plaster of the bricks. So that great path was covered with the bitumen. So it was a long rectangular tank. Then it was filled by the water by the adjacent well. Then it has the line bricks. Then it was posted by the plaster. Then it has the bitumen. They use the bitumen to cover the bricks. Then next, we can see the steps in a north and south side only. We can see the steps. So in a north and south side, the steps leading into the great path. So rest of the three sides we can see the rooms. Now rest of the three sides we can see the rooms. Then water was drawn from the well located in the courtyard and drained after use. So they drain the waters after the use. So every few days or every few months they recollect the water, they recycle, they use the water, then they drain the water into the down places. So next we are going to see the great granary. In the last class itself we have discussed about the granary. What is granary means? They store the grains in a particular place. So this is also one of the unique features in a Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So in the beginning they are using the great granary. So how it was built? Same thing, the granary, it was a massive building. It's a huge building with a solid brick foundation. Same thing, they use the solid brick foundation to build the granaries. In these granaries, they used to store the food grains. Why they were using the granaries? To store the food grains. In a current period, they have found some grains in these Harappan cities. Which are the grains they have found? That if you see the wheat, the remains of wheat, barley, cereal, millet, sesame, pulses. So these are the grains they have found in this Harappan city. So which are the grains they have found? Now in a current situation they have found the remain wheats, barley, millet, sesame, pulses. These are the grains they have found in these cities. So it was a large, huge, massive building, solid with a bricks foundation. Then they used the granaries to store the grains. Then which are the grains they have found in these cities? Wheat, barley, millet, sesame and pulses. So in a current situation, if we see the Ragigari is a village in Haryana. If you go to the Haryana, in a Ragigari, we can see the mud bricks. We can see the mud bricks, the granaries. It's made up of mud bricks. Still, it is in a Harappa, particularly in a Ragigari. Still, it's available. We can see the building of the structure of the granary. Next, what is the another unique features? The assembly hall. What is the next one? Assembly hall. So now we are using, if we are conducting any functions, we are going to the Mahal, or we are connecting the what is that? Any other, the largest big halls we are using to conduct the meetings. But in the beginning itself, they used that Harappans and the Mohenjo-darons, they are using the halls, they build a separate hall to conduct the meetings or gathering the people. So what is the unique features of assembly hall? They use the 20 pillars in 4 rows. They use the single phase, the 20 pillars in the 4 rows. We can see that. So what is the main thing? The 20 pillars, it is in 4 rows. It was the assembly hall was another huge public building. So what is that assembly hall? It was the huge another building, public building at the Mohenjo-daro. If you go to the Mohenjo-daro, they use the assembly hall also. What is the unique feature? It has the 20 pillars in 4 rows. It was the 20 pillars in the 4 rows. If you go to the next one, trade and transport. This is very important. Trade and transport. What is the next unique feature in the civilization? Trade and transport. What is the unique features? Trade and transport. Harappans were great traders. Harappans was the great traders in the civilization. In this particular period, they were great traders. We can see so many traders in this period. Then they used the standardized weight. In the last class itself, we have discussed, because in a Harappans, it was the urban civilization. Why did they say it was the urban civilization? Means they are giving more importance to the health, then hygienic, then they are using the standardized weights also. That's why it was called the urban civilization. So what is that? In a Harappan, they are using the standardized weight, particularly they use the stick with marks. Now we are using scale or any other measurements to measure the things. But in a ancient period also, they use the sticks with the marks to measure the length. Then third one, what is the importance of the trade and business? They use the spokeless solid wheels. Without spoke, they are using the solid wheels also in a civilization. The next one, maritime trade business. They are using maritime trade business, means they are using the business by the seas. So in a sea business also, it was very famous in this civilization. So there was evidence for extensive maritime trade with Mesopotamia. Still it's available in Mesopotamia. We can see that trade, maritime trade business in Mesopotamia. Next one, that in the seals, they are using the seals also. When, what is it? If you go to the Iraq or Kuwait or Syria, we can see which are the seals they used in the civilization which was available. They have found the Indus seals in Iraq, Kuwait and Syria. In a modern current situation, we can see in Iraq, Kuwait and Syria, we can see the Indus seals. Then next, what is the next one in trade and transport? The main thing, the King Naram Singh of Akkadian Empire. He was the Akkadian Empire, the Naram Singh. When he has written in his book, he mentioned that he brought some jewels. He bought some jewels from the land of Meluka. That city, it was in that land, it was in Indus Valley. So, in a Indus civilization, in this period, that king, the emperor, they bought the jewels from the Meluka. So, from the cities, some other emperors or some other peoples, they were buying the ornaments or they were buying the jewelries also. So, we can understand two things from the topic. In the beginning, in the ancient period, they used the jewelries, they used the ornaments. So, around that our jewelers, if we take jewelry, means the trade business was very famous in this civilization. They are using the jewelry. Then second thing, they are making a trade business with the other countries, other lands, other cities also. We can get two things from the topic. So, in a king, emperor, they were using the ornaments, they were using the jewelries. They are getting from the Melukas in the civilization. In this particular cities, they are using. So, next one, the cylindrical seals. First, we are talking about Indus seals. Then now we are discussing the cylindrical seals. These are the seals also they have found in the Persian Gulf and the Mesopotamia. In these two cities they were used the cylindrical seals. So it shows that it was found in a Indus area, then it shows the trade links between the two cities. So it shows that cylindrical seals, it shows the connection, it shows the relation between the two cities, the Persian Gulf and the Mesopotamia. It shows that. Then, what are the important trade business in this Indus civilization? If we take that novel chalkyard. Novel chalkyard. What is that novel chalkyard means? In a sea source, we can see that ships, they are making the ships, if any problems, they are doing that repair work, everything. So when they are doing, making the ships, doing the repairs, that place called the novel chalkyard. So in a novel chalkyard, it has been discovered in the Lothal in Gujarat. So in the beginning, they have found about the evidence of novel chalkyard in Gujarat, particularly in Lothal. So it shows the maritime activities of the Indus people. So they were spending the time to make ships, and they are doing the repair work, they are doing other activities related to the ships. So it shows that in a Lothal in Gujarat, it shows that activities of the maritime activity, it shows that. So where is chalkyard at Lothal? Where it was located? The Lothal is situated on the banks of the tributary of Sabarmati. So where it was located? We know it is in Gujarat. Particularly if we say means the Lothal is situated on the banks of a tributary of Sabarmati river. It is in Gujarat. So still it's available, we can see that places. So next, if we go to the unique features means, next we can see the leader in Mohenjo-daro. Now if you go to the streets, we can see so many statues like leaders or any other devotional deities, we can see the statues. In the beginning also, in the Indus civilization, they used the statues. We can see the leader statue in Mohenjo-daro. How it was looked like, how that statues looks like, why they are saying that he was the leader. So now we have to discuss the leader in Mohenjo-daro. Yeah, the sculpture of seated male has been unearthed. So they have found the seated male statue in this Mohenjo-daro. Then the hand, that leader's hand, it was covered the forehead with the headband. So in a forehead, if you see the forehead, they use the headband. Then the smaller ornament in the right upper arm. So they use the smaller ornament. They use the smaller ornament in the right upper arm. So they have a headband in a forehead. They use the headband in a forehead, and then they use the smaller ornament in a upper arm. Then that leader, the statue leader, his hair was carefully combed. So his hair was carefully combed. Then the beard finely trimmed. So if you see the statue, his hair was carefully combed, then his beard was finely trimmed. So that statue looks like a normal, a modern man. So hair was carefully combed, then beard was finely trimmed. Then he has two holes beneath the ears. If we see the statue, we can see the two holes beneath. Beneath means under the ears, we can see the two big holes. Why they use the holes? We can guess that because in a head they are using the headband. So maybe that headband will be connect with the ears. Maybe we don't know sure. Maybe they use that. Suggests that the head ornament might have been attached till the ear. That's why they are using the holes. The next, if we see the left shoulder, we can see the shawl. It was fully decorated with the flowers and rings. If you see the shawl, it was in a left arm, left hand, it was decorated by the flowers and the rings. Now we can see that shawl pattern. Still some people are using the same pattern. We can see the same pattern in today. In those areas we can found it like the shawl pattern. So next one unique feature is technology. If you go to the technology, again we can say the same thing. They are using the standardized weight and measurement. So technology also they are using standardized weights and the measures. Ivory scale. Have you heard about ivory? What is ivory? Not that, it's an elephant's tusk. It's an elephant tusk. So they are using the ivory scales made up of that elephant's tusk. So they use the ivory scales found in Lothal in Gujarat. Same thing. They found the ivory scale in the Lothal, particularly in this period. That size is 1704. What is the size? 1704 millimeter. That ivory scale size is 1704 millimeter. They have found in the Lothal in Gujarat. So technology is over. So now we have to discuss about the unique features in the cities Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. What are the things we have discussed? Streets and houses, the drainage system, the great path, the great granary, the assembly hall, trade and transport, leader in Mohenjo-daro and technology. So unique features is over. If we go to the next topic, what is the next important thing? The hidden treasures of the Indus civilization. Before going to the topic, now we have to discuss what is inscription. In a history first lesson, we have discussed about inscription. What is inscription? What is the use of inscription? Inscription means it's written in a script. They have written something in a hardest wall or the rough floor. They have written something about their lifestyle, about their daily activities. So inscriptions means written in a script. What is the use? What are the uses of inscription? Because the inscription shows the early human beings' activities. It shows the early human beings' lifestyle, our ancestor lifestyle. If we take the Indus civilization, we couldn't found any normal inscriptions. We couldn't find the inscription. But we can see some other hidden treasures to understand the Indus civilization. Which are the hidden treasures they have mentioned? First one, apparel. Apparel means the clothing. What is the first one? Apparel. Then love and peace, ornaments, occupation, pottery, the religious belief and the toy culture. So these are the things, it shows the Indus civilization's lifestyle, the people's lifestyle or the people's daily activities. It shows that. So now we go to the apparel. Just now I said apparel means it's a clothing. So which are the cloth they were used in this period? Which are the cloths? They know very well about the cotton fabrics. So they use the cotton fabrics in this civilization, in this time. The next, wool also they have used. First they use the cotton fabrics, then second one they use the wools also. So if we see they are using the cotton means we have to understand they are using the, what is that? Clay spindles. Because without spindles they can't make a yarn. So they use the clay spindles and earth suggests that the yarn was spun. So they know very well how to make a yarn. So they found some that clay spindles, it was found in this civilization, the clay spindles. So what are the cloths they use? The cotton fabrics, then wool also they were used. They have found the clay spindles in this period. Next, love and peace. How they can understand that in the civilization, that people in their cities, what are the things they give more importance to make a love and peace with the other peoples. How they shows that they are giving a peace to the others. See, in this civilization, in these cities, we can't see any evidence of any wars are conducted or any other military forces are in that places, any armies they were used. We can't get the evidence to show the armies or to show the wars. So, that settlement were built on gain platforms. So, the settlement was already I said that Harappa and Mohenjo-daro was the largest cities in the civilization. So, we can see the settlements were built in a gain platform and elevated grounds. So, we can see the gain platform in elevated grounds. So, in a Indus civilization seems to have been a peaceful one. So, it was the example of, this city was the one of the example of, shows the peaceful one. So, next, few weapons only they were found in these places. Few weapons, very rarely, one or two, few weapons only they were found in these cities. So, there is no evidence of an army. They were fighting, they were making guns or any other things to fight with the other countries. There is no evidence to an army. Then they display the statues. So, just now I said we can see the leader statues. So, what are the things we have seen in this statue? We have seen they use the headband, they are using a smaller ornaments. So, how they displayed in these cities, the people they showed that they are using the ornaments and precious jewelries. They are using, what is it? Ornaments, they are using a precious jewelries, ornaments, all the things they showed in their statues. If we see their statues, it was looks like, looks like an emperor or a king. The next, they had an advanced civic sense. They had an advanced civic sense. So, that's why they are giving a love and peace in these cities, in a particular cities, particularly in an Indus civilization. The next one, ornaments. Which are the things they used to make ornaments? Which are the things they use? Usually now we are using gold, silver, diamond, platinum, the costly things now we are using. But in an Indus civilization, what are the things they used to make ornaments? Same thing, gold, silver, ivory, shell, copper, terracotta. What is terracotta? It looks like a brownish red clay. It's a clay only. So, terracotta means it's a brownish then red clay. So, these are the things they used to make ornaments. Gold, silver, ivory, shell, copper, terracotta, and the precious stones also they used to make ornaments. So, if we take ornaments means, it were that ornaments very popular among men and women. Both were used the ornaments. Not only the ladies, the gents also, they were used the ornaments in this civilization. The next, they adorn themselves with, which are the ornaments they use? If we see the statues, we can see they are using the necklace, amulets, bangles, then finger rings, ear studs and anklets. So, what are the ornaments they use? And amulets, bangles, finger rings, ear studs and the anklets. So, these are the ornaments they used in this period. So, if we take Indus civilization, in the beginning they didn't know about the use of iron. They didn't use the iron, as well as they didn't know about the horse also. So, if we take our ancient ancestor, what metal they used? In the beginning, what metal they used? Copper. Copper only they used in the beginning. That's why the copper was the first metal discovered and used by the humans. So they use the copper. Then next, the Indus people use the red quartz stone. They are using the red quartz stones that's called carnelian. They call it's called carnelian. It is a red quartz stones. These all the stones also they used in this period. So now we are discuss about that Harappan civilization. It's a urban civilization because they will plan to build the houses. They are giving more importance to the hygienic. They are giving more importance to the public health. Everything we have discussed. Without any leader is this possible. Without any head, they can follow the rules and regulation. We don't know that, but the historians believe that there existed a central authority that controlled planning of towns and overseas trades, the maintenance of the drainage and peace in the city. So they believe that, our historians, they believe that someone ruled the that overseas trade business or drainage system are well planned, town, cities, everything. So they believe that someone was ruled it. We don't know that how they ruled that, but we can believe someone was take the in charge of to the all the works. Next one, occupation. What is the next one? Occupation. What are the activities are very important in their period? Occupation. So their main occupation, they didn't know that what is their main occupation, because they are doing all the activities in their period. So they don't know which is the main occupation in this period. But what are the things? However, they are using agriculture. They are using the agriculture, handicrafts, pottery making. They are using pottery making, jewelry making, weaving, carpentry and trading were practiced. So which are the occupations they did in the civilization? First one, agriculture, handicrafts, pottery making, jewelry making, weaving, carpentry, trading and the trading. So these are the occupations were very famous in Indus civilization, particularly Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Not only these are the occupations, they know very well, they are doing that rearing of cattle. Rearing of cattle also one of the famous occupations in this period, rearing of cattle. Then we can see there were, if they are doing the traders means we can see so many merchants, traders and artisans. In this civilization, in these cities, we can see there were the merchants, there were the traders and the artisans. So we can see these are the people in this city. The next one, people of those times knew how to use the potter wheels. They know very well how to use the potter wheels, because in a second lesson, history second lesson, we have discussed about the uses of wheels. How it was formed, what are the uses of wheel, already we have discussed. Because wheel only, it's the main invention of to make a new civilization. It was very important invention in this world. So in this period, in these cities, the people know very well, they knew very well about the uses of potter wheels, because from that only they are used in making a potteries. So next one, they read domesticate animals, because if we take agriculture means it related to the domesticated animals also. So they read the domesticated animals. So if we take occupations means, we just recall, what are the things we can see? Agriculture, handicrafts, pottery making, jewelry making, that weaving, carpentry, trading, these are the business were practiced in these cities. Next one, we can see there were the merchants, artisans and traders. Then they are using the reading of animals also. It was famous. Then they read the domesticated animals. Then they know very well how to use the potter's wheels. Next one, pottery. It's an important one, pottery. What is pottery? Then what is the use of pottery? Pottery were practiced using the potter wheels. So that pottery was practiced by the potter's wheels, so it was well fired. So if you are using a normal clay, anytime it will be broken or it will, changes the shapes. That's why they are using the potteries. It was well fired, because in the bricks also they were used the burn bricks only they are using to make houses. Same thing they are using the potteries also. It was well fired. Then how it looks like? The potteries were red in color. Potteries were red in color. Then they used the black colors to decorate the potteries. So the potteries in red color with a beautiful design in black. So if you see the part means it looks like a beautiful thing, because it was painted. It was used the colors, black colors, to create the or draw the things in this part. Next one, if you see the broken pieces, of the pottery have animal figures. They have animal figures and the domesticated designs on it. They are not geometric designs on it. If we see some broken pieces means we can see that it looks like animals. It looks like animal figures or geometric designs on it. So pottery is over. Next one, religious belief. What is religious belief? They are doing, they are making religious practices. Do they have a religious belief or not? We don't know that, because there is no evidence to show their religious beliefs. So we don't have any evidence pointing to religious practices in this period. So there is no evidence to show the religious beliefs. But there might have been worship of mother goddess. They are using some female goddess statues they have found in these cities. So mother goddess, maybe we can guess that they are following some religious worship by their statues. Mother goddess statues, they are using that. So which is concluded based upon the excavation of several female figurines. They are using the female figures. So by that we can get some conclusion based upon the excavation of female figurines. So they are using the female statues. That's why we can guess that they are follow some mother goddess. They are following some religious. But directly there is no evidence to show the religious belief. Next one, toy culture. Now we are using different types of toys. It's available. Then we are using the games in a mobile and TV also. In a current situation, we have a lot of facts to get the toys. But in the beginning, what they use the toy culture? What are the things they use to play? See, toys means it looks like a cards. Bullet car or any horse cars, they are using the cards. Then cows with movable heads and the lips. So the cows with the movable heads and limbs, clay balls and the tiny balls, small balls, monkey, the terracotta squirrel eating a nut, the clay dogs, male dancer. They have found so many toys in their civilization. In their cities, they have found lot of things made by the clay. So the cows, cats, monkeys, the squirrels, clay dogs, dancer, different types of balls, they used by the clay. So next, important one, what happened to Harappans? So they were very famous, they are using some very famous in their cities. They use the unique features to develop the civilization. Then they were very famous in ornaments, occupations, then all the things they follow that. But what happened at the end? What happened to the Harappans? Why it was declined? The main reasons in 900,000, see what happened to the Harappans? Why it was declined? Because they are getting repeated floods. They are getting repeated floods. Then ecological changes. They are getting some ecological changes. Then inventions. Inventions means some attacks. They are getting some attacks. Then natural calamity. Then climate changes, deforestation and epidemic. Epidemic means some diseases, spread the diseases. So for that Harappans was declined. So this is very important. Which are the things very important to decline the Harappans? The repeated floods. They are getting the floods repeatedly. They are getting. Then next one, ecological changes. They are getting some ecological changes in their periods. That's why it was declined. Next one, inventions. The attacks. They are getting attacks by the other civilization or any other animals or something. They are getting some inventions. Then natural calamities. So they are getting some natural disasters. Then climatic changes. By the climatic changes also it was declined. Deforestation. Because they know very well, that's why they are using the woods to make a building or any other works. Maybe the deforestation also is one of the reasons to decline the Harappans. The last one, an epidemic. This is also, it take more important to decline the Harappans. So these are the things happen in this civilization, that's why it was declined. Then the important one, we know very well how they are calculating the years periods. The radiocarbon dating method. Radiocarbon dating method. It was it was a tool to for calculate the periods. Then we can call as carbon 14. Carbon dating method we can see carbon 14. Why we can call that carbon 14 method? Because they are using the carbon radiocarbon dating method. They use the radioactive isotope of carbon. They are using radioactive isotope of carbon. That's why they are calling carbon 14 method. That's why they are calling that. Then our UNESCO, it was declared. UNESCO was declared that Mohenjo-daro was the our archaeological site at Mohenjo-daro has been declared to World Heritage Site. Our UNESCO declared that Mohenjo-daro was a World Heritage Site. Who announced that? UNESCO. UNESCO announced that the Mohenjo-daro, it was the World Heritage Site in the world. So now that topic is over, history third lesson is over. So I hope all get the books. So you just go through the book. If you have any doubts anytime, you can ask to the teachers. Thank you children. We have to see the next lesson in the next class.